Hi, it's Maya here, and in September I decided to take part in Bookoplathon, or Becca's Bookopoly Readathon. So this is a month-long readathon where you get prompts by rolling dice, and you get them from this bookish themed Monopoly board that Becca has made and that I printed out. I'm rolling as I go. That means that I make a roll, I pick a book, I read a book for that prompt, and then I roll again. I'm also trying to only pick books from my physical TBR, so books that I own and that are not ebooks. I do have library books out, I have a lot of ebooks, but I have really been neglecting my physical TBR lately, so that's why I decided to do it that way. I haven't yet decided if I will be posting one video for the whole month or if I will be posting 2 videos. I think I will be able to do like 4 rolls this month, so let's see how this goes and what I decide. But let's get to the first roll. Roll number 1. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 buildings on the cover. And yes, I am using a Neko Atsume Gacha figure as my playing piece. So roll number 1, I got buildings on the cover, and I didn't really have a lot of choice for this, so I ended up going with The Appeal by Janice Hallett, which has a lot of buildings on the cover. And it's the 10th of September already when I'm filming this, so I have already finished this and started on my second roll book. I can say that I didn't enjoy this. I gave it 2 stars. So this says 1 murder, 15 suspects. Can you uncover the truth? So this book is presented as files of emails and messages that are given to these 2 law students to figure out what's going on. So you are reading these people's emails and also trying to figure out what's going on. And this takes place in a small town, and more specifically a community theater group where a newcomer has just come into this town and joined the theater group, and also there's this appeal for a little girl's medical treatment. So this influential family in the small town is having an appeal for their kid. And if this had said, like, can you figure out what's going on with this appeal and this mystery of this small community, I maybe wouldn't have picked this up, but I picked this up because of the murder mystery. And the murder happens, like, I think 2/3 in the book, like really late in the book. And at first I was having fun reading about this community and its emails, like about 150 pages I was into it, like, oh, she really said that, like that type of thing. But then I got a bit bored and I really wanted to know who is gonna get murdered. This was over 400 pages long and it was too long. I lost interest, so I can say that 1 murder, too late, 15 suspects. I don't think the 15 were actually all viable suspects. And can you uncover the truth? Yes, I figured it out. So I didn't have a great time with this. I'm hoping I'm gonna have a better time with my second pick. So let's look at roll number 2. Roll number 2. 6 and 3 again, so 9. Favorite setting. So for roll number 2, I got favorite setting, and my favorite setting is a fantasy court. So I had a couple of choices for this. I had 1 ebook, which was Descendant of the Grain by Joan Hill, which I really want to read, but I'm trying to read my physical books. Then I had The Tethered Mage by Melissa Caruso, and I had The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. I was intrigued by The Tethered Mage, but I really thought that I should go ahead and finish The City of Brass because I've been halfway through this book for a month now. I just haven't picked it up. So I decided to finish this. This tells about this con artist Nari who summons a djinn and gets taken to this city of brass, the city of the djinn. So at the 50% mark, everyone's finally at the city. Nari had met the king, the heir to the throne, and another prince. And I thought that now the court intrigue could really start. So I decided to go ahead and finish this as my favorite setting. I am currently about 100 or a bit less than 100 pages from the end, and I think I am enjoying it more now that everyone is in the city. It took a bit too long, I think, for everyone to get there. I think this is a debut novel, so that might explain it. But I'm still missing Dara a bit, so that is the djinn that Nari summons, because he hasn't been present as much during the latter half of the book than the first half. So let's see how this one goes. So I will update you when I finish this. I haven't finished City of Brass yet, but I thought I'd check in with a library haul so that I would have something more in this video than just the rolls and my thoughts on the books. So I recently visited a library that I visited in my old library vlog where I went to 3 different libraries. So this is the library Cello that has a good fantasy selection. And I picked up 3 books from there. The first is The Midnight Bargain by C.L. Polk. I got really into C.L. Polk this year, so when this was staring at me from the shelf, I picked it up, even though I said that I will wait to read this and maybe read their newest release first and then maybe this one, because this has a lot of topics, like hard topics about women's rights, I think. Our main character is Beatrice Claiborne, who is a sorceress who practices magic in secret, because in this world women aren't allowed to keep their magic. They marry and are locked into a marital collar which locks their magic away so that it protects their unborn children. Beatrice belongs into this family, the Claibornes, who are in severe debt. So there is the bargaining season when young men and women are trying to negotiate the best marriages, and Beatrice really needs to secure a good match with money before the creditors come calling. So that was an adult fantasy. Then I picked up a young adult fantasy, A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcy Little-Badger, who wrote Elazzo, which I really enjoyed. And I have also read one short story from Darcy Little-Badger before, which I really liked. So I am looking forward to this. This was published last year, I think. So we have 2 main characters. Nina is a Lipan girl in our world, and then Ollie is a cottonmouth kid from the land of spirits and monsters. And they have no idea the other exists, but a catastrophic event on Earth and a strange sickness that befalls Ollie's best friend will drive their worlds together in ways they haven't been in centuries. And this is like a surprisingly heavy book. I think the paper is like really, really thick. I also picked up a science fiction novella, Sun Daughters, Sea Daughters by Amy Ogden. This is, I think, a science fiction retelling of The Little Mermaid, which is why I picked it up when I saw it on the shelf. It says one woman will travel to the stars and beyond to save her beloved in this lyrical space opera that reimagines The Little Mermaid. I love lyrical writing. I like fairy tale retellings. So that was everything I picked up from the library. I also have bought one book. I bought the Adventurous Bible, Delicious in Dungeon World Guide by Ryoko Kui. And this is like a companion guide to the manga series Delicious in Dungeon. So it has information about all the characters and a short comic about centered on that character. The first part is called Characters, the second part is Monsters, and the third part is World. And it also has this fold-out map of the dungeon. I love Delicious in Dungeon. That's it for the haul. I'm gonna go back to reading City of Brass. I think I can finish it today. Alright, I'm back to give you my final thoughts on the City of Brass. I did enjoy the latter half more than the first half. Like I thought, when everyone was at the same place, things got a lot more interesting. I did end up giving this 3 stars overall, though. I think it just took a bit too long for things to get started. It promises to be quite interesting right at the end, so I do have actually the second and the third books in this trilogy as ebooks. I have bought them from sales during the year, so I will be finishing up this trilogy. But I think I will be dividing my Bookoplathon videos into 2 videos, so I'm gonna leave it here now and I'm gonna be back in another video with my 3rd roll. So that's all from me for now. Talk to me more in the comments and I'll see you in my next video.